Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo soy José. Bienvenidos a un nuevo mini beat especial de Coleccionables en Acción, presentado por Yavin 4coleccionables.com. Nos encontramos dentro de la Expocoleccionistas Fan Days, aquí en el Hipódromo, en la Ciudad de México, y vamos a platicar con la actriz Nalini Krishan, que interpretó a Barriss Offee en el Episodio II de Star Wars, y con el actor John Morton, que interpretó a el piloto Dak en la película del Imperio Contraataca en 1980, de Boba Fett, en una escena en la Ciudad de las Nubes. Vamos a ver qué nos dicen. Hi.
Hi.
How did you get the role of Barriss Offee?
You know, I have to say I'm very blessed because I didn't audition for the role, and my agent at the time was a modeling agency/acting agency, and she rang me and said they want to see you. Now, when they say they want to see you, usually it's an audition, right? And I said, okay, they want to see me. What do they want to see me for? And she said, they just want to see you. So I went in, and there was this beautiful drawing of this beautiful woman with a hood and a skirt, Barriss Offee, and they started to measure me up for the role. And I said, is this the character I'm going to play? And they said yes, and then I knew I was going to be in the film. So that's how I got the part.
And how many days
It was about a week on and off. Like, there was a couple of days we did together, then we had a break, and then we'd come back over a period of time. So about 5 to 7 days in total.
And which other actors did you have a relationship during the film?
I worked very closely with Mario Yaya, who played Luminary and Dooley, Samuel Jackson, Natalie Portman, Jimmy Smith, and a lot of other actors, probably smaller actors like Silas Carson, Oli Shoshan. Yeah.
And what do you think about the newest Star Wars movies?
I have to say I'm a big fan of Force Awakens. I like it a lot. And I really like Jason Boyega. Big fan of him. He was very entertaining to watch. But I just liked it. I thought it was great. I liked BB-8.
And would you like to be Barriss Offee again in a new film?
I would love to be Barriss Offee again. Yeah, I'd love her character to be expanded and for them to be able to really expand on the character and show who more of who she is, because they really didn't show enough and they deleted a lot of the scenes that we did film. So it would be nice to do that, yeah.
And this is your third visit in Mexico City for a Star Wars convention?
Yes, I believe I was here about 4 or 5 years ago, and I was here again several years before then. So in the last 10 years, I've been to Mexico City 3 times and Merida 2 times. And
did you find any difference between now and the other times?
I think that it's still a very big city and a lot of people, and the show that I went to last time was in a very sort of busy part of Mexico City. It was right in the middle. I don't know because I didn't travel around a lot, but it still looks very modern as it had. In fact, I probably see taller buildings now.
Yes.
More modern buildings that they probably didn't have at the time that I came.
And what difference do you find between Mexican fans and international fans of Star Wars?
I don't know if there's a big difference, but I have to say that there's a friendliness here that I don't find necessarily. I mean, all my fans are friendly; they're wonderful human beings. But there is like a sense of welcoming here in Mexico. You know, when you're here, you feel like you're at home because the Mexican fans, make you feel so welcome. So I feel very welcomed, and as a result, I feel like I'm at home. That's like the key difference, I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Nice to see you, Luis, or Jose.
This is your first time here in Mexico City?
Not my first time in Mexico City. This is my segundo time. Segundo vez, and third time in Mexico, but it's my first convention. Primero Expo.
And which is your experience with all the Mexican fans?
Say again?
Which is your experience, or what do you think about all the Mexican fans?
Well, the most impressive things that touched my heart was when a gentleman came up to me yesterday and he said, Su casa is Mexico casa. And so he said, that I'm welcome and I've been invited. So, Mexico is su casa. And that really was quite significant. Very significant.
And how did you get the role of Dak?
Well, I had been in many films before, so it was just one of a number. I went before a casting director who was in charge of casting the roles, the minor parts in London. I was working in London. I had an agent. She put me up. The casting director, her name was Irene Lamb, and she said, I think you'd be good as a rebel pilot. And so I showed up at Elstree, the studio where they were filming, and I arrived as a rebel pilot, and they said, you're going to be Luke Skywalker's co-pilot. I said, oh, that's great. They said, well, that's the good news. The bad news is you're already dead.
And how was working with Irving Kershner?
With Irving Kershner?
Yeah.
Oh, he's fantastic. Yeah, he was a great actor's director. And I only really worked with him on the days that I was working as Boba Fett for Jeremy Bulloch. When I was working as Dak, I don't remember him directing me too much. I got direction from George Lucas and Irving and Gary Kurtz. So they were shooting with several different units because they were trying to do as much as they could each day. So there were 3 directors on the film. Irving Kershner was the director of record. He tended to work with the lead actors and focused on the theatricality. George Lucas was more concerned about the technical, and Gary Kurtz the same. So they were all very different in their approach to filmmaking.
And how was the relationship with Mark Hamill?
Great. His father was in the Navy. My father was in the Navy. We had a similar upbringing, and so we bonded very quickly. And I had lunch with him really every day for about 4 weeks when I was working on the film.
And then how did you get the role of Boba Fett?
Jeremy Bulloch got an opportunity to act for 2 days in another film. I'm about the same size. The first and second assistant directors I had worked with on a number of other films. And they said, oh, John would be willing to step in, I'm sure, so we can let Jeremy go off and do another film. And so that's how that happened.
And which part did you like more, being Dak or Boba Fett?
At the time, being Dak. But then when I found out many years later that Boba Fett was so significant, I think he's the 4th most popular character in Star Wars. I was very proud.
And what do you think about all the merchandise for your characters?
Well, it's part of George Lucas's genius that he was able to anticipate that the merchandise would be so important, because the studios, 20th Century Fox, thought, oh, well, this is ridiculous. He's going to work for a little bit of money, but he's going to keep the rights. We won't ask for the rights for the stuff that may never be of interest. Well, of course, Lucas was right.
Yes.
20th Century was wrong. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit commercial, but it's part of what makes it, so important for the fans, as you know, because it's the way that they connect with the movies all the time. And especially, as you can appreciate from Yavin 4, you're getting children whose imaginations are shaped by those action figures, and they play with them. And some of those people go on to being people who are working with Lucasfilm, who are shaping the legacy today. And that's what's so interesting, is that the second generation who are making the films grew up with the action figures.
Yes.
Yeah? And at the same time, as you know, as people get older, the mothers and fathers are interested in figures too, to collect. And it enables them to connect with us, are signing the autographs and talk about things. So they are things that bring people together. So I think I look at it that way, in their importance.
And finally, for many people, The Empire Strikes Back is the best film of all Star Wars saga. What do you think about
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think the thing about the prequels was George Lucas wanted very much to explore the boundaries of computer-generated images. And there was nobody really, because he had so much control, telling him, I think you've gone too far. So for me, the prequels are a bit cold. They lack the humanity. However, I think the younger kids, the younger people now, who came to Star Wars through the prequels would think differently, because that's how their imaginations were fueled. The one thing I would say about The Empire Strikes Back, George Lucas had a great idea and a great vision, and he did a lot of storyboarding on the whole of Star Wars, but no one can say, and I don't think George would say either, that he was a great screenwriter. So what happened with Empire Strikes Back is you had two really good screenwriters who came and worked with George on his original idea, Lee Brackett and Larry Kasdan, and they helped shape it. And then you had, as you were saying, Irving Kershner coming in as a really good theatrical director, and so you had a wonderful package of people that brought that film into being. Not to forget the wonderful British technicians who had worked with Stanley Kubrick on 2001, who by the time of The Empire Strikes Back had the money, which they didn't have in the first A New Hope, and they also had the faith in the production that, hey, this works. So you had all the creative elements feeding off of each other in a collaborative way that made that film exceptional, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jose. Yeah, mucho gusto.
Igualmente.
Yeah, buena suerte.
Gracias.
May the force be with you.
Pues espero que te hayan gustado este par de entrevistas. No dejes de seguirnos en Facebook, en Twitter, en Instagram. Dale like a este video, suscríbete a nuestro canal, visita nuestra página de internet en www.yavin4coleccionables.com y may the force be with you.